You might think you know Bone, but here are 12 facts you may not have known about the cousins from Boneville. The first issue of Bone was released in July 1991 and was created, written, drawn, and lettered by cartoonist Jeff Smith, who also self-published the book through his company Cartoon Books. This series ran until 2004 when it concluded its story with issue number 55. Smith first started developing the Bone characters as early as age 5 and was drawing comics with them by age 10. While studying cartooning at The Ohio State University, Smith created something of a beta version of the story for the school's student newspaper, The Lantern. Smith's main inspiration for the Bone series was to create a book that felt like an 1,100-page Carl Barks' Uncle Scrooge adventure. His main art and comedy inspiration is Walt Kelly, whose classic comic strip Pogo is referenced by Bone's Miss Possum and her kids. Additionally, the name of the main character, Fone Bone, was inspired by the Mad Magazine cartoons of Don Martin, who used Fone Bone as a generic last name for characters in his cartoons. Just in case you've never read Bone, the premise is that three cousins, Fone Bone, Phoney Bone, and Smiley Bone, are exiled from their hometown of Boneville, ending up in a medieval-style valley where they encounter new friends in the form of the girl Thorn and her mysterious grandma Ben, and strange beasts such as rat creatures, dragons, and deadly swarms of locusts. In 1995, Image Comics reprinted all the issues of Bone that Smith had published up to that date with new covers. Smith then published 9 new issues, number 20 through number 28, via Image, before returning to self-publishing for the remainder of the series. Bone had a spin-off prequel in the form of the 3-issue miniseries Rose, written by Smith, with art by award-winning artist Charles Vess, the illustrator and collaborator with Neil Gaiman on the novella Stardust. Rose tells the story of the former Queen of the Land, who turns out to be, well, I guess that's a spoiler if you haven't read Bone. Another prequel came in the form of Stupid, Stupid Rat Tales, a 3-issue miniseries written by novelist Tom Sniegoski with art by Smith, and backups drawn by Usagi Yojimbo creator Stan Sakai. This series tells the story of the Bone cousins' ancestor Big Johnson Bone, who encountered the rat creatures of the valley long before Fone Bone did. This series was reprinted in color as Bone Tall Tales in 2010. The original Bone series was published in black and white, but Bone stories first appeared in color in Disney Adventures magazine in 1994, and then in 1997 through 1998. These issues mostly reprinted stories from the first storyline with some bits edited out, like Smiley Cigars, but there was one original story about a treasure map that was later reprinted in Tall Tales. The entire series of 9 collected Bone volumes were then reprinted in color between February 2005 and January 2009 by publisher Scholastic. These color editions are smaller in dimension than the original black and white volumes and feature some edited, rewritten, and corrected dialogue. In July 2016, Smith published Bone Coda, a 120-page volume that included not only a complete companion to the art and world of Bone by librarian Stephen Weiner, but also a brand new 32-page Bone story by Smith that shows the Bone cousins trying to return to Boneville. In the time of its original publication, Jeff Smith and Bone won many awards, including the 1993 Russ Manning Award for Best Newcomer, 10 Eisner Awards, including for Best Continuing Series, Best Writer-Artist, and Best Humor Publication, and 11 Harvey Awards, 8 of them for Best Cartoonist. Bone has been adapted as a series of action figures, a limited edition resin statue, 2 video games from Telltale Games that adapt the first 2 story arcs of the series, and a trilogy of sequel prose novels called Quest for the Spark by Tom Sniegoski. Despite much talk over the years, no movie yet. That's it for this episode of You Think You Know Comics. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance for more comic facts, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comic awesomeness.